Good day students. Welcome to part 2 of Green Skills. In your previous class, we had learned about what are the different types of resources that we have. We had classified the resources into categories like exhaustible, non-exhaustible, renewable and non-renewable. We had also learned what are the impacts or what are the factors that are causing a damage to the earth. That means deforestation and climate change, etc. We had completed that in our previous video. In this class, we are going to learn what are the ways in which we can conserve the resources and what are the elements of a green economy. Students, as you all know about the different types of natural resources which we have like soil, water, forest, etc. We will be learning about the different methods that we can use to conserve these natural resources. We can also going to be in depth studying about what are the green what are the factors which lead to a green economy. Some of them being e-waste management, water management and resource management, energy resource management, green construction, green transportation, etc. So we will be going into depth of all these elements of an green economy. Let us now start with the first part, which is conservation of resources. The first natural resource which we have is soil, and soil conservation is very important. So soil conservation means to check the soil erosion and to improve the soil fertility by adopting various different types of methods. Some of the methods that we can use is crop rotation, control on grazing, reforestation, terrace farming, or even contour plowing, which helps to trap the water and prevent soil erosion. We can use a terrace type of farming method whereby the hill slopes are cut into different levels and farming is done at this level. Regrowing of plants and trees and vegetation helps to prevent soil erosion. Even controlled grazing in certain areas will help prevent the fertility of the soil from being destroyed. We can also do a lot of instead of adding more and more fertilizers and manure into soil, we can try doing something called as the crop rotation, whereby different types of crops are grown on the same soil. Here are some images which will give you a better understanding about how we can conserve the soil. For example, how terrace farming can be done, how bunds can be built across the in the farmlands so as to, or how grazing can be stopped. All these pictures or images will be giving you a better idea of how to conserve soil. The next important natural resource is water. The conservation of water is very important for the survival of mankind and plants and animals. So we have, because which is one of the most important element of life. So we need to conserve this water in a very effective manner so that it will be available for the survival of mankind. So some of the methods for water conservation are, let us look into it in details. Some of the methods of water conservation, it can be done at two levels. One is at a personal level, you can reduce water consumption by replacing leak pipes, or using of less water during while taking a bath, using of buckets instead of showers, or even we can use gadgets also. Those who require less of more water, we can avoid using that. So this way, at a personal level, we can try to use or conserve as much as water as possible. Then we can also, at a farming level, they can use drip irrigation, build canals, then build dams and avoid water wastage as much as possible. So in this way, we can try our maximum, or rainwater harvesting. That's also another method of conserving the water. Some other methods of water conservation are growing vegetation in the catchment areas so as to help to hold the water into the deeper layers of the soil, and thus helps in formation of groundwater. Construction of dams and reservoirs to have a regular supply of water to the fields. Then sewage treatment of the water that is being released into the rivers and the lakes. Then industrial waste effluents that are treated, and so that to prevent the pollution of fresh water. And also creating watersheds. Watersheds means a whole area of land where there are different sources of water. They are all for example, streams, lakes, rivers, etc. They are all covered and collected in one place, and that water is used for the to increase the fertility of the soil. That is it is plowed back into that area itself. That is the different sources. That's called as a watershed. So construction of watersheds are also another method in which we can conserve water. As you know that energy resources are very limited in nature, so we need to conserve that energy resources very efficiently, so that saving them is very, very important. So we have to save all our natural energy resources like coal and minerals and oil and natural gas. All this has to be conserved very efficiently so that it can be used in future. So some of the methods we will look into it. We can switch over to some a certain type of renewable energy resources like wind energy, solar energy, water, hydroelectricity. This can be done at a larger scale. And at a personal level, you can switch off the fans and lights when not needed. You can switch over to LED lights, then use equipments which have less of which consume less of power. We can also have a regular maintenance of our vehicles, have the PUCs done, move over to certain vehicles and machinery which require less of energy. So these are the methods in which we can conserve our electricity and energy resources. Food is a very important natural resource which we get because it helps us to sustain ourselves. So we have to follow many different methods to conserve food. So the first and most important thing is to avoid food wastage and to conserve whatever food resources like food grains, vegetables, fruits, or fish and meat. All this has to be conserved in a proper way so that it prevents the spoilage of this type of resource, and or it prevents from harmful bacteria and microbes making the food spoil. So we have to be very careful about food conservation. We can try out different methods like storing the food in proper containers, in refrigerators, not breaking the cold chain when it is being transported, or even at a local level or at your own personal level, you can try to avoid as much food wastage as possible. Try to take in only that much as what you want so that maximum food can be saved. Forest conservation. Forests provide us a lot of natural resources which like wood and honey, medicines, medicinal products, many other things forests can provide us. So conserving these forests, and it also helps in preventing climate change and many other important like water, soil, soil erosion. All this can be prevented by forests. So conserving our forests is a very important aspect. So how do we conserve these forests? We can do it in a very successful way by community participation and stopping the people who are doing deforestation at a global level. Also, there are many forests. Amazon forests are getting destroyed. So many type of forest conservation programs can be done so as to conserve the forests around us. This can be done mostly by a community participation or at a local authority level. Planting a lot of trees around, or keeping a check on whether the forests around you are getting degraded. All this can be done by people at a local level or at the local authority level. You can inform people if the local authorities, if you find that somebody is causing deforestation or doing a lot of cutting of trees around the forest. All these can be kept in check at a local level by you students itself. Now we go on to the next part, which is called as green economy. So what is the object of a green economy? That is to reduce the environmental risks and ecological scarcities that aim at sustainable development without degrading the environment, which means we adopt different types of methods which helps in sustainable development of our economy without actually harming the environment. So that is called as a green economy. So what are the main sectors of a green economy? First is e-waste management, then is green transportation, renewable energy, green conservation, and water management. So let us look at each of them in detail. First is e-waste management. So what is basically e-waste? E-waste means electronic waste. As you know, nowadays most of the people have a lot of electronic devices in their houses like refrigerators, computers, TV, mixie. So many different electronic equipments are being used by you. So what happens when these start getting spoiled, or they, once you finish that repairing stage of these particular equipments, then they need to be discarded. So how to manage this type of electronic waste and how to reuse it, resell it, resalvage it or recycle it? This is what comes under waste management. That is segregating the different parts of these electronic devices and then reusing them, or reusing or even recycling these devices. That comes under e-waste management. The next element is green transportation. Green transportation means using effective and efficiently methods or new ways, modifying your the transport system in such a way that there is very little damage to the environment. That means, for example, doing switching over to CNG, or instead of using coal in the engines, coal of trains, then switching on to electric trains and the metros. Adopting such type of green transportation system which reduces the pollution and use of the resources, the natural resources. This is called as green transportation, making the transportation more healthier and more better economically. The next is adopting renewable energy resources. As we have already learned before also, that the the natural resources are non-renewable, so you can't get it, and it is exhaustible. So once it is over, you will not be able to use it. So we have to adopt more better methods of energy like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, and rainwater harvesting. All these type of geothermal energy, all these type of methods we can use. This type of energy resources we can use to conserve our already exhaustible energy resources. Another important aspect of green economy is green construction. Nowadays, what the types of buildings that are being constructed, they are constructed in such a way that they are planning, and their structures are such a way that they are very environmental friendly. So the glass panes, the roofs, there is a lot of sunlight coming inside, the wind, all the designing of these type of buildings is in such a way that there is maximum utilization of the natural lights and natural wind, so that less of energy or less of electricity is consumed. The designs are such, the operation, the maintenance, the renovation of such buildings are done so that it is done in a more environmental friendly manner. So nowadays green construction is the in thing. Most of the buildings are constructed like solar panels are kept on the roof of the buildings, and many other methods. There is a lot of terrace farming done, there is a lot of greenery around the building. All these type of steps are taken for building better construction, and better infrastructure is built in a more efficient way, so that the environment, it is more environmental friendly buildings. Uh, Water management is one of the last elements of your green economy. Water management refers to the optimal use of water, or avoiding water wastage. So certain policies, regulations are made by the government which helps in conserving water. There are projects like the linking of rivers, then rainwater harvesting being made compulsory for all the new societies. Such policies and regulations are created by the government, which helps in clear water management. That means that every new organization has to create water resources, or if there is a new agricultural or a factory which is being a new factory which is coming up, so how the wastewater has to be disposed, how water has to be managed, all these type of policies are created by the government. Building up of new dams, new canals, and the water regulation or regulating of water for the agricultural and industrial purposes. All these type of management, all these type of water management is taken up by the government through policies and regulations to help conserve water. So basically these are the 5 different types of elements or sectors which come under green economy. With that, we come to an end of this unit on green skills. I hope students, you are now familiar with all whatever we have learned in these entire 2 units, that is in the units of green skills part 1 and 2, which gives you a detailed information about what are the resources, what are the damages that can be caused to the earth, how are the methods of conservation of the resources, and what are the elements of green economy. Thank you.